Hello, I'm Harley Miller, and I'm here to present the Service Project presentation. The objective of this assignment was to find an opportunity to demonstrate servant leadership in an organization or community by volunteering a minimum of 4 hours of serving others. This was a prime opportunity to gain valuable insight into the practice of concept of servant leadership in action. While the New Covenant Pentecostal Holiness Church is not my home church, it is the local area church that hosts a lot of events within the community, such as revivals, singings, and guest speakers. I chose this opportunity for several reasons. When my grandmother passed 2 years ago, they opened the doors to me and my family without really knowing us, and they served us dinner and held a memorial service. To me, they provided care and compassion through service, and this closely resembled what I have learned about servant leadership. Another reason that I chose this church is because they are getting ready to hold a revival that will last several days, and I felt they may be receptive to my offer of service. I spent a total of 4 service hours spread out over 3 days of the revival event. This was planned so that I would be able to offer services after the attendance of large groups of followers, when the church and its members would benefit the most from the cleanings and reorganization. These services included cleaning the sanctuary, kitchen area as meals were offered nightly, the nursery, the restrooms, and entryway. I also worked outside to clear any weeds or debris from the front entrance. This experience provided me the chance to thoughtfully evaluate the impact of my servant leadership left on others. In doing so, I was able to answer the Greenleaf questions included in this project. Do those served grow as persons? I do believe that my servant leadership helped those I served to grow as persons. I think this was accomplished because my providing service helped those served to learn about servant leadership. They were also able to grow through my explanation of servant leadership and be seeing it in action as an example of selflessness. Do they, while being served, become healthier, wiser, freer, more autonomous, more likely themselves to become servants? The answer to this question is a resounding yes. I say this because they were able to enjoy the revival event due to the service of others. This set an example of placing the needs of others above my own, and through an act of selflessness, those served became wiser, healthier, and more likely to volunteer to serve others as well. What is the effect on the least privileged in society? Will they benefit or at least not be further deprived? The least privileged in society within the church community are those who struggle to volunteer to serve others due to restrictions such as transportation and time. While their greatest benefit from this situation may have been the removing of the burden to locate transportation to offer to serve others during the revival, they will at least not be further deprived by my service. There were several servant leadership skills that I used during the service opportunity in order to influence others. One of these was caring. I evidenced this skill by taking time in every task to serve others with caring and careful attention to detail. I used this skill to influence others concerning the desire to learn more about servant leadership. Another skill used to influence others was foresight. I planned my servant leadership experience to coincide with the church revival event due to the fact that the need for services I offered would be greater at this time, and therefore the impact of servant leadership would be felt more greatly. Therefore, influencing others to want to learn more and become servant leaders themselves. Listening was another servant leadership skill that I utilized in order to influence others to become active listeners as well. Finally, persuasion. As defined by Darren Dock, the servant leader seeks to convince others rather than coerce compliance. was used by practicing selflessness and offering even more time in the service at this church after my required 4 hours were complete, which provided an emphasis on the principles of servant leadership and influenced others to desire to become servant leaders. One significant takeaway that I gained from this experience is that not all people easily understand the concept of servant leadership. One largely tends to think of servant leadership as a mainly Christian concept. However, most people I spoke to during this experience were not familiar with servant leadership. This took to be because servant leadership is paradoxical in nature, in that the words servant and leader do not bring to mind the same images. Triple crown leadership. Another takeaway for me was, again, the importance of a leader's values and beliefs in shaping the workplace culture. I realized that without shaping honesty, integrity, and responsibility, I would have chosen a less physical, exhausting experience, but missed out on the true meaning. I also take away the knowledge that love is transformational, not only for the followers who experience from the leader and are able to reach their highest potential, but for the leader also, who begins to realize that she has the capability through helping others to truly love them enough to desire that their highest needs are met above her own, and it is possible to see workers as family whom you are responsible for. Thus, my final takeaway is that it is possible to lead by example, because I discovered that when I reach out in concern for the needs of others, they respond in similar actions. This is my servant leadership album. Thank you very much.